Hello there and welcome to my reaction to basically This is Chainsaw Man by Gigak. And I might be wrong, but I think this is exactly what I'm looking for, or was looking for after episode 12 aired. Uh, and after I watched the season 1, which I think ended on episode 12 of Chainsaw Man, I wanted to hear someone's opinion who read the manga, and I think Garnt did read the manga. I could be wrong. I'll find out in this video, definitely. But I think he did, and I want to hear his opinion on the anime. Uh, as from someone who read the manga, as I said. Also, a bit of a tangent. Look at that! Look at this. It's my New Year's gift from a friend. It's a cool JoJo poster. It's on a cloth. Like that Ichigo behind me, it also was his gift, but that one's on wood, and this one is on, like, a cloth on a wooden frame. It's not on the wall yet. I just wanted to explain what's behind me for a millisecond. It's on the wall yet because it's 1 a.m. and I want to hammer the wall and annoy my neighbors. So it's going to be there for a bit. Till tomorrow, probably. Unless it would be too lazy to do it. Anyhow, that's done. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member, let's begin. I talk nonsense enough. Let's... Am I plugged in? Alright, go.
Alright, everyone's talking about this new Chainsaw Man. Let's see what this show's all about.
返事ははいかワンだけ。いいえなんていう犬はいらない。
Oh god.
What did I walk into? Chainsaw Man. Easily the most
Yeah,
anticipated
that's my
new
thoughts
anime to
sometimes.
come out all year. The show that we weren't ready for, that would come down and grace us, showing us peasants once and for all what good anime is. So, how hard did Chainsaw Man hit when it dropped?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, pretty fucking hard. As
Okay.
expected, it's taken over the community by storm, and with all this extra
It sure
attention
did.
comes the extra scrutiny. After just one episode was out, already all the doubters banded together. Experts and scientists poured in thousands of man-hours to collectively construct the perfect critique, confident that their words would be so severe, the Chainsaw Man fandom would be put in their place, and the whole anime community would see the error of their ways. Here's what they came up
I
with.
mean, that always happens.
Chainsaw Man fans have still not recovered to this day. But do the haters have
Yeah.
a point? Did the anime live up to the expectations it built? Did everyone overhype it? What's the deal with Chainsaw Man? Anime fans have been eating good.
Okay. I'm gonna say this. I really, really like the anime. For anyone who haven't, like, watched my reactions to it, if you want it, they are on the channel, 12 episodes of them. But... What did I want to say? I did enjoy the anime a lot. It did feel overhyped, at least like in episode 1, but then a few episodes later, you probably, if you're watching this, you already saw the show, and or at least not scared of the spoilers, or read the manga or whatever. But like in one of the episodes, a lot of shit happens, and that hooked me. Actually, episode 3 hooked me because in episode 1, I wasn't really into that CGI like style they used. But in episode 3, they actually showed like what they can do with it. Like, motion felt fast and had felt like there was weight behind it and all that. Unlike in episode 1, I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I actually don't know. But after episode 3, I was hooked. 3, and then one of the later episodes had a big impact on me and my enjoyment on the show, and I just cruise through it. But after episode 1, I was not hooked in. Even after episode 2, I thought it's a good show. It's quite definitely overhyped, but it's a good show. And then I thought it's a great show. Still overhyped. I still think it's overhyped, but it's an amazing show. That's my last thoughts.
This year. But you know what? they could be eating even better with our sponsor today, Boxu. Weebs,
Oh.
tell me, did you get fed well enough in 2022? Don't lie to me, Weebs, unless you have your own Boxu. Boxu is my favorite Japanese snack box. It's a subscription service that sends you a new
I'm
box
gonna
of
say what I
goodies
always
every
say,
single month right
but
from
it is good.
Japan. They work with
It
family
looks
businesses
good,
all over Japan,
and I
so
would
you
like
know
to
this
get
is the good
at
stuff
least
that
one
you
at
need.
some
Guys, I'm
point.
not gonna lie, my Christmas was cancelled until Boxu sent me their gifts of snacks. Christmas dinners? Get out of here. I'm eating well because I got my own Boxu, guys. And this is a month I'm super excited about because this month is Hokkaido Wonderland. And if you know anything about Japanese food, any of the food that comes from Hokkaido is chef's kiss, god tier. And you know what? I'm gonna treat myself by having a snack right now. What I got here is the white milk boucher.
I wonder if it's
Let's give it a
contractually
smell.
obligated to eat something
Oh.
in your
I'm
ad
gonna
read.
be honest, I've already eaten the snack on Trash Taste and I wanted to eat it again because it was so good. I also wanted to try some Hokkaido milk Carantino crisps. If there's one thing that's really famous about Hokkaido, it's their milk. So I've got high expectations
Okay.
of this. Oh, it smells good. Oh, this is really addicting. Oh, I need another one already. One pack is not going to be enough. Oh no. Guys,
This is a
it's
very
the end of the
small
year.
pack,
It's the season of
to be
gifts
fair.
and giving. So show someone close to your love today by giving them a Boxu. You know they are going to be eaten.
Actually, I don't
well.
get that.
So click the link in the description.
Like
and
one
use code
cookie in the
GEEKUP for
pack,
$15 off your first
thing,
Boxu
small, very small
order. Thank you very
packs
much
of
to Boxu
things.
for sponsoring us today. Back to the video.
If it's
no
delicious,
secret
how
that I'm
would I
already a
get
big fan of
more?
The author, so external factors aside, I was already hyped as hell. Chainsaw Man was meant to be his magnum opus, taking everything he's learned from previous works and perfecting it. Chainsaw Man was meant to be the outlier of Shonen Jump, doing things its own way. Chainsaw Man starts off like a pretty standard shonen. You could be forgiven
does,
for getting
yes.
a slight feeling of deja vu watching a spunky teenager on the brink of death making a contract with the devil to gain devil powers, only to be picked up by an organization that hunts said devils under the pretense that they can keep an eye on him and won't kill him as long as he's assisting in hunting other devils. Then we find out there's this
Yeah.
super strong devil that they have to hunt by looking for his body parts, which is really risky because like any devil who's consumed some of those body parts is a super strong S-tier devil and you're like,
Depends on the amount of parts,
this
yeah.
is just Jujutsu Kaisen again. But
Yes.
that's where the similarities end. Chainsaw Man is a typical shonen in the same
Yeah,
way that
it was
Stephen
easy to
King's
compare
It
them
is
in the
a
beginning.
children's show about a funny
But
looking clown. It is brutal.
again, that
disgusting,
drastic change.
raw, it is metal as fuck. It pushes the edge of what it even means to be a shonen action show in the first place. You look at some of these scenes.
Ironically,
you see what
Jujutsu
these
also is
characters
Mappa.
do, and you think, that's not what Goku would do. When we first meet Denji, he is, what's the technical term for this again? A
Poor?
broke-ass bitch. Due to some
Okay.
unfortunate
Sure.
circumstances, he lives every day just to survive.
Relatable
Drowned in
for
debt,
me.
A bottom dweller of society. He sold his left eye, a kidney, one
That's
of his
a right
nuts.
eye.
Yes, his nuts. Just to scrape by, living on a slice of bread a day. I mean, good lord, someone get this boy some Boxu. There you go, Boxu. That was a free one for you.
Nice.
But this immediately sets
Nice
the tone for
integration.
just what kind of world this is. Naruto, Demon Slayer, My Hero. These are worlds where some pretty hardcore shit can happen if you lay it out on paper, yet somehow everyone seems to have come out squeaky clean. Tanjiro had almost his entire family brutally murdered, and yet he's still like, oh, I'm gonna be a good boy, I'm gonna be the best boy, I'm gonna empathize with all the demons, I'm gonna make the world a good place. Bitch, you saw your mother's bloody corpse! How are you more mentally stable than me remembering I got my tax returns due in 2 months? Shonen protagonists have always been about
Okay.
preaching that good moral. Work hard, train hard, be a good person, aspire to be something great. Everything that Denji isn't. The man's been through
Yeah.
hell and just wants to live in mild comfort while copping the casual feel along the way. He doesn't have any grand aspirations. He doesn't want to fight for what is right. He's not the honorable, innocent, safe protagonist.
I'm
we've
guessing
gotten
some of these
used
things
to,
are from the
while
endings,
Goku
and I
is out
haven't
there being
watched them
like,
yet.
Cell, I want you to power up to your final form so we can have a fair and honorable fight. Denji's here like, finishing move. Delete bloodline. But that's the thing that makes him interesting. Okay, Denji, I think you can stop now. I think he's learned his lesson. Oh god, Denji, no, this is not the way. Denji, God, please, Denji, for the love of God.
Ah,
That's the thing
that
sets
was
him
a
apart and
repeat.
makes him interesting, and this is something that's pervasive throughout every single cast member in Chainsaw Man. Wouldn't you agree, Aki? Everyone here stands out from the typical characters you see, and I'm not talking about in that usual anime way. You know, sometimes you watch these animes and you see these characters that are like, look at me, I'm so quirky. Look at this weird thing I do. Isn't it so weird? Aren't I so weird and quirky? I'm not like other anime characters. And then their super weird quirk turns out to be something like, look at me, I sit funny. People in Chainsaw Man are just actually weird. Like, I don't know, puking in a guy's mouth and then he swallows it and then you try to sleep with him 5 5 hours later.
And he's 16.
Everyone here has a few screws loose, but it never comes at the expense of their character. All too often in anime, we see these
Not
characters
everyone,
that are
only surviving
distinguished by
ones
their
have
weird
screws loose.
quirks, and even if they have some depth to them, it always comes off as cartoonish, the anime-esque bullshit we've all gotten accustomed to. And one thing I gotta give props for is, despite how batshit insane these guys are, they all still feel like people. Everyone is just broken in some way, like they're all missing a different piece to make them normal. They're not cartoonish, they're just fucking weird, and that absolutely works.
Kind of,
the
yeah.
dynamics, the antics, the banter, the cast is just so entertaining together. Like, there's a scene where a bunch of devil hunters are trapped in this building, possibly for an eternity, waiting for death. One of them has a panic attack. One of them starts freaking out
I mean,
and goes full
kinda
yarn.
two have the
They're
panic
laughing at
attack.
each other. Denji falls asleep. Two of them decide now's the best time to pick up smoking. Power starts spouting off.
That's
she's gonna be
untrue.
Prime Minister and raise the sales tax to
They were already
100%.
smoking
I'm sitting
heavily.
here being like, what the fuck am I watching? Chainsaw Man could be a sitcom.
That was a
and
good
it would still
episode, though.
work. It's like watching the cast of Always Sunny if they were stars
Little
of a show.
Hotel
Show. Are they assholes? Yeah. Would you be friends with them? Probably a bad idea. Is
Yeah.
it just hella entertaining to see how they operate in the situations they find themselves in?
Yes, bitch.
It's all great stuff, even if the structure is a bit reminiscent to previous shonens we've seen. That
Yes.
is until this guy shows up, and that's when things
Exactly,
really start
that's the
revving
one I
up.
was
This is
talking
the moment
about.
when Chainsaw Man really starts showing its true colors. Within the space of 20 minutes,
Actually,
it shifts from
in that
first gear
episode, but
straight to fifth gear. Looks
it
you
started
dead in the
before
eye
the
and
guy.
goes, "You stupid bitch! Did you really think you knew where this was going? You feel like a dumbass for forgetting the type of world this all takes place in. It is a cruel, ruthless place where
Yeah.
your entire life can change in one instance, one bad experience, one unlucky encounter. There are no second chances, and villains aren't fucking around here. And just as you start to think, damn, these bad guys are pretty damn scary, Makima is then like, only when you start to fear the bad guys do you see that the good guys are even more
apparently knew what was
terrifying,
going
and
on.
you don't know what to believe.
Or
Who's
something
good?
like that.
Who's evil? What's really going on? More questions emerge while nothing gets answered, and you realize the only thing you really knew is that you didn't know a damn thing. This was the Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man I expected. Tatsuki Fujimoto is and never has been a by-the-books guy. It's like he lulled us into a false sense of security, then was like, alright, you've had your fun now, I'm die.
Thank you forever.
The more episodes I watch, the faster I click on the next episode button, and my only gripe is that it feels like we've only
Yeah.
just begun. 12 episodes.
Actually,
feels
yeah, that's
crazy.
true. I was saying that I didn't enjoy much. Well, I did enjoy. I didn't get hooked on episode 1. I started getting hooked on episode 3, and then I got even more hooked. More episodes were going in. I was more deeply invested in the story and the characters and the world and everything in the show itself. You know what I mean? And that's how a good show is supposed to be, I think. It shouldn't. Well, it might not necessarily, but it might need to have a good episode 1, like a good hook. I feel like, at least for me, Chainsaw Man didn't have that, and it was fine. I still enjoyed the episode 1, and then a bit slower and more world-building episode 2. But some shows just gonna put everything in episode 1, and then like half a season's kind of chill. Like a lot of action in episode 1, and no action in, I don't know, 5, 10 episodes. And then until build up gonna pay off, stuff like that. I don't know. This was kind of like just a progression, like, oh good, better.
Short for the story that Chainsaw Man has set up, which begs the question, am I just gonna read ahead in the manga? No. Because
Same.
what I'm doing is watching the anime, then reading the manga. Yeah, that's right.
I might do that, yeah.
I'm reading the manga second. How does that make you feel, manga readers? Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Uneasy? Maybe I'll mix it up. Maybe I'll read a few chapters ahead and then let the anime catch up. Maybe I'll read chapter 70 out of context. Maybe I'll just translate it all into Braille and consume it that way. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with this.
Yeah,
Anime is just
definitely
my
not the
medium
last
of
one.
choice. There's nothing that will replace Kensuke Ushio's hypnotic, mesmerizing soundtrack, the stellar animation,
Soundtrack
or the
is
voice acting
fantastic.
that bring the chemistry these characters have to life.
Yeah, voice acting is great, especially like Denji's voice actor is kind of new to the scene, but he did an amazing job as Denji, and when he's in his Chainsaw Man form especially.
Impressive.
Like, it's a perfect
Very
voice.
nice. And let's see the official Spanish dub.
What?
But there are a few manga artists out there like Tatsuki Fujimoto, and after reading what the
That's a
anime's
real
covered, yeah,
official
he's
Spanish
a
dub?
fucking genius, alright? Only so rarely do you find someone who has such mastery of the page. Here is a man who knows how to use manga to its fullest potential.
Okay, I
which
see
he
that manga
does
went
consistently. If
darker.
you're someone who's never really thought about layout,
Okay, I want to look it
anime,
up.
or page composition, I implore you to read any one of his works and you'll immediately realize,
Fire
oh,
Punch.
that's why it matters. I know this because I never did until I could see how masterfully it could be used. Well, you know, you could just watch my other video where I go in depth about it. The work he's put into
No.
Chainsaw Man, the way he uses manga to convey ideas and feelings is something that would be impossible to translate into another medium. And so it doesn't. But what nuance it loses, it makes up for by adding its own. The anime takes its own approach in telling the story. Colors are more muted.
I think I
characters
was
look more
overall
realistic.
wrong
It
that
slows
Gaunt read the
everything
manga
down,
already.
Not to pad out the runtime, but just so you have time to get absorbed into
Maybe
this
even
beautiful world.
he didn't do it
this
yet.
has made some of the more dramatic moments hit even harder. It doesn't just reference cinema, it doesn't just look cinematic, it feels cinematic. Almost as if this is an anime original production, not taking its material from a manga. I mean, just look at
Yeah.
something like this.
帰れ
I fucking love how it feels like this devil was just deleted from existence, like it's what only an
Yeah.
eerie, outer-worldly creature can do. And it was just such a subtle thing that could only be conveyed in anime form. It really seems like the team have put
There wasn't like
much
a
thought
flash
into
and
the visual
poof.
storytelling. There are no lazy camera
Just
angles,
gone.
no throwaway shots. And instead of trying to replicate what the manga has done, they've asked themselves, what is something that only we could do? They added a 2-minute scene of Aki getting ready in the morning, and it is so beautifully calm.
Oh, I like that scene.
Of who Aki is that was never in the manga. This is some Makoto
Okay.
Shinkai level of vibes that absolutely did not need to be done, which shows that someone there gives a shit. And this isn't even.
I think I'm gonna
mentioning how
rewatch the show
good
with
of
a
job
friend so I
they're
can
doing with
remember
the
scenes
animation.
better.
When people think good animation, they
And
see
then
a
I'll
pretty
read the
fight scene and they
manga
think, oh,
to see the
now
differences
this is good
myself.
animation. Wait, 10 frames of CG? Unwatchable. But what they can gloss over
No.
is that 17
fine.
other minutes of anime in that anime. Chainsaw Man simply looks breathtaking in almost every single frame. Fight scenes aside,
Yeah, look at
there
that
is no
shot.
reason why walking animation needs to look this goddamn smooth, or backgrounds look so spectacular, or hand-holding scenes should awaken something in me.
Yeah, that scene was way too sensual. I didn't like it.
手のひら
I
は
didn't like how much I liked it.
冷たい
And you know what? I'll say it. The CG doesn't even look bad. I think the
True.
real reason it stands out at points is just because of how goddamn spectacular everything else looks. Which experience is better? I don't know, whatever medium you bloody prefer.
True, yeah.
Why not both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
You have two separate versions, two separate styles, two separate approaches to telling this fantastic story in a way that utilizes their own medium to its highest potential instead of one trying to emulate the other. And
Again,
I
I'm
can't
agreeing,
even
but I
begin
only
to tell
seen
you how
one
rare
medium
an
of this.
occurrence this is. Which is why it blows my mind when I see complaints that this scene doesn't look exactly
But
how
I wouldn't
it
be
does in the
so
manga,
hyped
or
if the
this
manga
isn't
was
how
bad.
The manga depicted this one thing. We have a chocolate cake and a chocolate ice cream in front of us, and people are unhappy that it's not the exact same flavor of chocolate. And I'm like, bro, you have
Yeah.
a delicious ice cream and cake right in front of you. Why are you complaining?
そのくらいでやめちゃうんだわ今の子は
Chainsaw
True,
Man is
him
setting
and
up
that
for
true.
the series fans said it would be, and it hit the jackpot of having an anime production this good while in no way replacing what the manga has done. Will these 12 episodes live up to the insane hype people said it would reach? No. But we already knew that, so the real
I
question
guess.
is, when the hell are we going to get more of it?
I made myself be overhyped by
God,
other
Denji,
people.
please stop, his descendants are already dead! Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much this month to Alpha Sigma, Basil,
Oh, this.
Dysfunction.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, on the anime part, I do agree with at least most of the points. Maybe I'm forgetting something. I'm not gonna say all the points just in case. Because I'm not gonna rewatch it right now. That would be weird. Let's watch this again! But yeah, manga plays beautifully into it. I want to compare it to the manga. Anime plays beautifully into its strengths with voice acting and the sound design and music itself. Plus, obviously, adding animation to what seems to be an amazingly drawn manga. It's, of course, different art style, specifically, maybe not specifically, but partially because it's mostly done in CGI. But does it take away from the story? No. I think it's just as good. Would have been better if they did the full thing in 2D? Maybe. But there's no guarantee to it. It's not like every drawn anime is like perfect. Even if the story is good, it's not, it's just like no. Like even if the only good, I guess, adaptation of Berserk, which is in the 90s, that's not 3D. The only one, for some reason, the only adaptation that's not in 3D. But it's still not perfect. Sure, they gave like the Guts theme is very memorable and stuff like that, but they cut out a lot of like scenes that were in the manga, probably to tell a story a bit quicker than it did in the manga. But it's possibly lost some charm. Maybe it's just the 90s and stuff, but I feel like CG specifically can't ruin the show. Maybe. I don't know. Probably a lot of people would disagree with that kind of take. Like, if a show has a good story, would bad CG, like, ruin it completely? Actually, possibly. I don't know how much was cut out from, like, 2016 Berserk, because I wasn't able to get past, like, I don't know, 10 minutes because of how ugly it looked. But it's just such a kick in the nuts, like Denji Kiktaki, when the manga Berserk looks so good and then the shows don't. I don't know why they chose that. It still annoys me. Whatever. Why am I talking about Berserk in a Chainsaw Man video? Chainsaw Man good. I want to say if you haven't watched it, do so, but or read it, do that if you prefer. But probably no one's watching this video who actually seen the who actually hasn't seen or what or read the manga, like seen the show or read the manga. So that's pointless. Just don't be an asshole. I don't know, to other people who like. If someone says they prefer the anime of the, like, I don't know, manga you like, sure, it's their right to do so. They could be wrong in your eyes or just maybe even objectively, but they do what they want to do. And just maybe be glad that there's more people that enjoy the show you enjoy. There's more people to talk to and stuff like that. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm gonna end. Thank you, everybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot. I hope to see you next time, and goodbye. Have a great life, because one of us has to.